I've been staring at the go live button for like the past 5 minutes because I am scared. I'm scared. All right, let me do the tweets and whatnot. Give me a second. If you're here, hi. How you doing? How do I share the go to my profile? Go here. Do I go to me? And then I go to my channel. Oh, it's actually showing me. Ew, why do I look so ugly? Ew. And then I go to my channel. Ew, why do I sound like that? Get me out of here. Cancel the stream. We're done. Hold on. I tweeted out the stream. All right. So this is my first. Well, it's not really my first stream, right? Obviously. Yep. Live viewers show up. So this is actually. Well, that's a good thing I started because obviously no one's here right now. I think I have one person watching. What's up, guys? But what I want to talk about is what's going to be on this channel. Obviously, hello, hi. This is me, Poke Protagonist, Ted, Poke, whatever you want to call me. I really don't care. I have my name right there because once we get more people here, we're gonna, I'll put my name somewhere else. But I also I do a podcast with my cousin Josh and my friend Manuel on Nerds Make Sense. My cousin Josh has his own other singular podcast with him and his coworker, I think. I'm not sure. I thought it was my other cousin at first, but I don't know. But yeah, he does NFL stuff over there. Now, the thing about this is that we used to do a podcast a lot, right? And Nerds Make Sense. So we still do it, obviously. But the thing is that pandemic hit and we can't go over. We all live across town from each other. And we can't really record like that, and it kind of sucks. Why do my glasses look like this? Ew, it looks old. There you go. And it kind of sucks. So we're on a huge hiatus right now, and obviously we can do this, what we're using now, which is like newfound technology, which I call it, because my friend James, he does a podcast or he does a YouTube channel using this, and he talks about comic books and whatnot. He told me about this channel, about this streaming site called StreamYard, which is really cool. I really like it. And we did a couple of episodes on there, but like I said, like I always say, life finds a way, and life finds a way to get us to not record a lot. It gets us to me and Manuel, we work out of school, so we're there all day, then we come back, we're tired, life happens, man. And eventually we all stopped. And I am a person who, when I have an idea, I really just want to act on it. You could probably just see the reflection of the video in here. I wish there was a dark mode for this. There probably is, and I just don't know it. Yeah, I don't know it, so I'm not gonna mess with any settings right now. But yeah, I always have ideas. Like I want to talk about everything. I have what I tell people, super truths. I don't lie. When I don't like something, I'll literally say I don't like it. I won't sugarcoat it. I guess you can say I have some bad takes as well, because I know I say a bunch of stuff, and people are just like, "There's no way you're just hating." Like, no, I'm not hating. It's real. Like, I really don't like this. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that I wanted to do something on my own where I don't need to really have to focus, or not focus, but have people here where I could just talk to you just like this. I'm new at this by myself. I usually have Manuel here. He is my rock. And I usually have Josh here who supports me as well. But it's just me on my first episode of Kaiju Chasers. This is what I call it. So let me get into like why I chose this name, and then we'll talk about Godzilla, because if you're watching this, you're talking about Godzilla. I just wanted to get like a brief introduction, like on the first episode. But I'm gonna say a lot because obviously I'm unscripted. I really don't have any notes other than like some cast names and whatnot and some points. So that's how I work. I live on the edge. But I came up with the name Kaiju Chasers not because of Godzilla. I am a person who loves all things pop culture. I love fantasy. I love sci-fi, science fiction, TV, movies. I love the whole shebang. I love talking about movies, TVs. I love talking about TVs. Hey, you want to buy a TV? I love talking about TV shows. I love talking about cartoons. I love talking about animes. And so when it comes to kaiju, I've been a huge fan of Godzilla my whole life. Ever since I first seen it, I'm pretty sure I owned every single VHS or DVD of Godzilla at one point. They're gone now because I don't know how to take care of shit. But I've been a fan of anything monster related for a long time. So the word kaiju kind of popped up, and obviously you can tell by my beautiful physique that I'm a big person. I'm huge. And kaijus are monsters that are huge. So I was like, okay, kaiju is what I want to do. So I could be the kaiju in this scenario, and my guests can be kaijus as well. But kaiju also comes from Japan. It is seen in science fiction. It's seen in pop culture. It's seen in fantasy. It's seen on television and movies, all spread across, right? So I was like, that's basically what I talk about. That's what we talk about. Nerds Make Sense is pop culture and movies and science fiction and games and stuff from Japan. That's all we talk about. So that's what I really wanted to focus on. So kaiju is just that singular point, is that it's basically we are the kaijus, and the chasing part or chasers is the part where I chase the news and I will talk about it when I see it, and when it's there we will pop up just like good kaijus do when they talk about like movies and when they pop up in movies and whatnot. So that's what the name came from. I wanted the name to mean something other than just my name, because my name is Ted, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should do TED Talks." I'm like, "Bro, I can't do that. It's copyrighted." Or they wanted me to be like protagonist show, and I didn't want my name to be something where, if someone wanted to be like a co-host or something, they don't have to, like, it won't be like, oh, Ted and the Manual Show. I wanted it to be something else. But yeah, that's where I got the name from. It's probably pretty boring to you guys. I just know Kaiju Chaser is something I like, and I ran it through with a couple of my friends, and rather than being really nice, they did give me some criticism, but they agreed that they liked the name, and the meaning behind it is that we're just a bunch of monsters chasing an idea or chasing something. And I thought, well, if my guests come on here, they could be kaijus as well, because a kaiju is a monster, a huge, strong monster being, right? And we're all a kaiju and a monster in some craft. Rather, you really are knowledgeable about comics, or you're knowledgeable about video games, knowledgeable about anime. You're a monster. It. You're like, because like, dude, you're a monster. You're good. You're excellent at what you talk about. Now, I might not be excellent, but I am a monster. I am big. I'm huge. But yeah, that's basically where I got the idea from. So there's that. So thank you for being here. If you're watching this, I appreciate it. I could probably go more into this. Also, if you look at my channel, I'm still Poke Protagonist. I still upload Apex Legends videos. I'm probably going to post more videos talking about stuff I want to talk about. I've done that in the past already. If you just go look, you'll see like a bunch of like gameplay videos. I'm not that good, but I just like posting stuff on YouTube. So this channel is still gonna have gameplay and clips of my Apex stuff and whatever I want to post. It's gonna have some news as well as this podcast, which I hope to have people on. Manuel was supposed to be here, my friend. My hair is all messed up. Sorry, but he's very busy right now and he's tired. He works a lot, just like I do. So yeah. So now that's out the way. Let's talk about the actual kaijus, and let's talk about Godzilla versus King Kong. Now, no, it's not King Kong. I'm sorry, Kong. Now, I really like this movie. Okay, what I really liked about this movie is that all the Godzilla movies before, we had some good ones, we had some bad ones, but Godzilla, obviously, there are humans in these storylines, right? To push somewhat of the plot along, other than giant monsters fighting each other. They're not the key focus here. The monsters are, and that's what, like, if you go and read reviews, because I had to read some reviews to see if people actually like this movie. But if you're a huge fan of monsters going at it, fighting to the death, then you'll like the Godzilla or any Godzilla movie. You'll like Godzilla versus Kong as well. Now, going into it, there's a lot of cool shout outs and Easter eggs they did for this movie. And some of them, we'll get into it, but let's talk about the idea. So it starts off with Kong, right? He's being secluded in this dome on Skull Island because he's being protected from Godzilla because Godzilla's going rampage, right? He's going rampage mode. He's actually hurting people, and he's been deemed the king of all monsters and the savior of the world. But now he's going on a rampage and no one knows why. So he's attacking every like random places around the world, and they hide Kong from him because Kong is also an apex predator, and Godzilla is an apex predator. Now they can't have two apex predators because eventually they're going to kill each other, right? So that's why Godzilla versus Kong exists. But Kong needs to be freed because he's the only other defense to fight Godzilla. No one else is going to stand up to Godzilla. And it's so crazy that so in the beginning when they show the title screen, they show like this little like versus battle where it shows like a tournament bar graph where it shows like, oh, Godzilla fought this guy, defeated. Godzilla fought this guy, defeated. Now they show a bunch of other monsters, and I try to pause the movie to see what they are. You can't really see all of them, but one looked like Rodan. So did Godzilla kill all the other monsters? Is what I'm saying. They don't show up here because at first, when I did my little reaction video to the trailer, I thought Godzilla was attacking the Apex Predator plants or the Apex or the Titan facilities for Monarch, but it didn't show him attacking. He was obviously chasing the Apex facility, which I'll get into that, which is like a new company. But this takes place 5 years after Godzilla versus Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's 5 years after. There are some reoccurring rules. There is the father. I got his name right here. Give me a second. Mark Russell. There you go. Yeah, Mark Russell. And he was the father to 11, Millie Bobby Brown, Madison, and his wife was the person who worked for Monarch and made the Apex sound, whatever it's called. We're going to say Apex a lot in this, okay? So bear with me. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed because even though I just said that, the people are just in this movie are just there to like sort of push the plot. But I like the idea of those two characters, Millie Bobby Brown. Did I say her name right? Why does that sound so wrong? Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle, why did I call him Kyle? Mark Russell. Their characters of him being the dad that didn't want any part of Monarch because he knew that they were going to be crazy fighting, like protecting these monsters. He wanted them dead. But by the end of the movie, he was sort of the one that's like, dude, we need him. And they reduced him to like a backup character in this movie. Like he's there, but like he's just like checking his phone. He works for Monarch now again. And I thought by looking at the trailer of the movie, I thought they were gonna have like bigger roles, like bigger than the ones they had last time. Like I thought he was gonna be like the head of Monarch or something, because the dude who was in the head of Monarch died now. In the last one, he set off the nuke to bring Godzilla back. But yeah, there were kind of just backup characters. There were a few lines. I feel like if anything, Millie Bobby Brown's character should have had the big role because she was there mostly with her mom designing this Apex signal in the second movie, and I feel like she should have had a bigger role. But I was kind of disappointed that they were reduced. Now, they were probably reduced because, one, COVID, two, because there's a lot of Godzilla versus Kong in the actual monster fight. The fighting in this movie was amazing, okay? Like, I don't know, because I was kind of worried, because I was like, okay, Kong is really fast, so obviously he's going to do some, like, really fast stuff. He has thumbs. He has the axe. We've seen the axe. Now, Godzilla, what difference of fighting style can Godzilla have? Like, what difference could he have in fighting other than just atomic breath? Because when they first see him, right, like the director went on record and saying that they wanted to feel like it's a Jaws movie, and you see that a lot. The way they make them, like, how can you make Godzilla look like a bad guy? Like, he's already a monster, he's already a titan, a kaiju, a god, and how can you make that look more menacing? And they did a great job. The way he walks, the way he fights, the way he looked angry. They gave him the colored eyes, like he was on a rampage. No pun intended to the movie Rampage. Even though this looked like the game Rampage of the gorilla and dinosaur fighting. But they did. You could tell by the facial features, the expressions, the way he's like actually moving like a monster. Like when he capsized the boat and he's crawling like this, try to get Kong, and he's biting and like slashing away, like he's like in a rage, and it's amazing the way they did that versus like him being so big. Because Godzilla is now bigger, and so is Kong. So you would think that he's slower, but he's actually nimble. Like, I can't believe how they did that. It was so amazing to see. Like, I can't put anything on here because I don't want any copyright strikes, but believe me when I say that the fights we'll get into later were top notch. They're going back. I kind of went off topic there, but talking about the characters. Now, they have Julian Dennison. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy from Deadpool 2. The one that the kid that Deadpool tries to that the kid that becomes the villain that kills the future dude's family. What's his name? I was gonna say Powerline. That's the guy from Goofy's movie. But yeah, he's the little kid, and I don't know why he's in this movie. He really didn't do much but complain. He didn't want to be there. He always told Millie's character, Madison, that, you know, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. Like, I don't know why we're here. Like, I'm a hacker. He tried to say he was a hacker, but all he did was hack like Netflix or like social media accounts. Like, he really didn't do anything. So I don't know why he's there. I guess they did it for casting. Like, they needed. Like, I don't know why they don't trust Millie Bobby Brown with the lead role character. She did such a great job in like everything else she does. Like, I don't know why you don't give her. They could have scrapped the dad and scrapped this dude, and they could have just had her. I don't know. But speaking of the cast, the main character, the only person who pushes the narrative and story for the humans and a goal and a reason is Bernie, the podcast conspiracy theorist guy. I love him. Now, I had to go back and look at his name. He reminds me of the other person that pushed the story and narrative and idea of the humans in a movie in Kong Skull Island was John C. Reilly, Hank, the soldier that crash landed on Kong's Island, on Skull Island during World War II or whatever. And he's the only like human on there, like not human, the only like American there who lived with the natives. Though him and Bernie are the only characters that I've seen that push the human story. Like, they're the only ones. Like, because without Bernie in this movie, I don't think Millie Bobby Brown's character would have ever found out why Godzilla is doing this in the first place without him. Because that's what you start off on. You start off, other than Kong, seeing Kong's like found out that he's in like this dome and he doesn't like being there. After the title credits, it goes to him talking about, this is gonna be my last podcast. I always say that, but I'm on it. There's this company called Apex something. I don't know. it's so much Apex Predator, Apex Legends, Apex Titans. Ugh, I'm getting a headache already saying it, but the company's called Apex Technology, I guess, and he knows that he's a conspiracy theorist. So he has this podcast where he told everybody that he snuck in. The only way he was going to get answers if he became one of them. So he became an engineer, and he said that he was going to find out what's going on tonight. And so he goes in and he hacks the system. He finds out that they're sending stuff to Hong Kong, and he doesn't know why. He's been working there, so he knows that they can't supply stuff like that. There's no, like, they're just a technology company. There's no shipment going out. They make stuff there. You know what I mean? So he knows that there's something up. And he without him, I don't know how far they would have gotten. I don't even think they would have ever found out. Because I'm trying to picture, like, what would Millie Bobby Brown done? Because she hears, like, Godzilla's going crazy, and she goes and she's like, Dad, Godzilla must be a reason. I've been listening to this conspiracy theory guy, this Bernie guy, and he says this, and the dad's like, no, you're crazy. Stop listening to conspiracy theories. But I don't know what she would have done without him. And it goes back to me talking about Hank Marlowe from Kong Skull Island. I don't know what they would have done without. They all would have died without him. Because, like, without him, they would have never got off of Skull Island. They would have had a hard time because Samuel L. Jackson's character was looking to kill Kong, so he was never going to go off the island. So they would have just led them to his death. So these two characters are pivotal in these two movies. And I'm mad that Hank Marlowe didn't have a cameo in this movie. Maybe because of COVID, because there's a lot of, travel bans and stuff because of COVID. So I don't know, but it would have been cool to see him at least him watching Kong fight Godzilla in Hong Kong. That would have been so great to see him just be like, come on, Kong, or something like that, or something, but sadly we didn't have that. And just those two characters are the key people in these movies. If anything, they could have scrapped everyone and just kept Millie Bobby Brown and Bernie. Oh, and then this next character I'm gonna talk about. But yeah, so there's another character, Rebecca Hall. She plays Eileen. She is the monarch person watching Kong, and she has a daughter who has psychic ability. So in Godzilla movies and Kong movies, there's always a psychic kid, boy or girl, who has connections to Godzilla or Kong that talks to them telepathically. That's an Easter egg. I can't even find the little girl's name on here. Is she even on here? Bro, she was in this movie? What did she do? Yeah, I can't find her name, but she had a daughter. Now, the daughter was friends with Kong. She speaks sign language to him. I don't know how long Kong has known sign language, but he does. That's how he talks. He talks to her. She feels his emotions. She feels his heartbeat. She feels Godzilla's heartbeat, in the heartbeat, but like emotions as well, which is pretty crazy that she can do that. It's not crazy because we've seen it, but I thought it was only a Kong thing, because I thought Millie was not going to be like that person for Godzilla, but she wasn't. But yeah, she was really cool. I like the actress. She didn't talk at all. She only talked in sign language to her mom. And I feel like she'll have a bigger role down the line. I'm not sure. But that's basically everybody for the cast I'm going to talk about. Everyone else is irrelevant. There's Dr. Nathan Lind. He's the guy who had the hollow theory idea because his brother went there and he died. And everyone's calling him a crackpot. But the guy in charge, I think his name is Walter Simmons, the guy in charge of Apex, and his assistant or technology assistant, Ren, they both seek him out because they're like, hey, dude, you're not crazy. We'll fund you. Show me. And he's like, I don't know if I can show you. I don't know where to go. But he's like, there is a theory that, genetics always leaves people back where they come. Like salmon, salmon always know where to go to lay their eggs in real life. So these monsters will know. And he was like, Kong is the only way. So they go get Kong. And he used to work for Monarch, and he used to know Eileen. So he's like, hey, let's go get her. And then they recruit her, and that's how they get the idea to take Kong. But that's basically all the cast. There's other people, but there's a lot of throwaway. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if you're the criticism of the cast, because they have this fine girl, Maya. I guess she is the daughter of Walter, of the Apex, the guy, the owner of the Apex technology. And they're like, "Oh, my daughter knows what she's doing," but we have no build up to her. She's just like a bitch. She's like really rude to everybody, and then she dies, and that's it. Kong kills her. So there's that. That's it. But anyways, so let's get on to mostly the fights. Now, the fight and action in this movie is great. The first one we get is what we seen on the first trailer, them fighting on the boats in the water. Great. That scene was so long. I was surprised how long it was, and the other fight is so long. Now, Godzilla, King Kong. They were skeptical about like could Kong swim. Kong swam in the old movie, so we knew that. But he can't breathe underwater. Now it was like Jaws. You see the dorsal fin cuts through the boat. Kong is like, bro, let me out. He doesn't want to be here. He expresses through sign language that he tells a little girl that he just wants to go home. And I guess I missed it. Maybe it was in the opening scenes of the title credits where they show like all the stuff. But I had to research this myself, and I found out that the people on Skull Island, the natives that we seen on Kong Skull Island, they all died because of a flooding of a tsunami or something. So Kong was all by himself. So he doesn't have a home no more. It's just, I mean, he has Skull Island because he's a giant, bro. Like that's like up to his ankles, bro. But like everyone died, so he has no worshipers. He has no one to talk to. He only has this little girl and the Monarch people. So when he wants to find a home, Skull Island's not his home no more. Now, at the end of King of All Monsters, they said that maybe Skull Island was the birthplace of all Titans. And it plays into the Hollow Earth theory that Hollow Earth theory and Skull Island are connected. Like it's just a piece of it, but on Earth. Okay. But going back to the fight, Godzilla comes up, Kong uppercuts him, great scene, slaps back. There's a whole underwater fight. Now, this same part, like Godzilla was about to like drown this dude. Like Kong lost the first round, obviously, because he can't really do much on the water. It's Godzilla's domain. Now, he's dragging him underwater, and they tell him to shoot these missiles. I thought they were like the anti-air missiles they used last time to kind of stop him, or the nuke or whatever. But it wasn't, and I don't know how those made Godzilla drop Kong, but he let go of him. Plot. And Kong just got on top of one of the boats that didn't capsize, and he was just laid out. And they told him to turn all the power off, make Godzilla feel like he won. And it worked. Godzilla's like, oh, I guess I don't hear anything. Kong is just laying there dead. Now, this is how I knew, because everyone's like, oh, Godzilla's evil. We all know Godzilla wasn't evil. Godzilla's doing this for a reason, right? They're trying to replace him, and he knows it. The idea of Godzilla being dumb is done. He's not as smart as Kong, but he is smart, okay? And he knows when there's something afoot. There's a reason why they found those paintings of people worshiping Godzilla as a god, because he is smart. He is the top of the predators list, and he knows when there's a new one here. Now, Apex Technology and the dude who runs it, Walter, they are trying to make Mechagodzilla off of the parts of King Ghidorah's heads. Now, it was only one, but there's two. There's a skull at the end. The skull they have at the end that the villain, who's not even in this one, from the second one, King of All Monsters, he got found the head of King Ghidorah, and obviously he sold it to this guy. And since their necks are so long, they talked telepathically with telekinesis, and they're using that one skull and put the other skull in Mecha Godzilla, right? And they're using it as like a VR game where the dude Ren, the technology guy, he is sitting in the suit like with VR on, and he's connecting his mind to the robot and using that as a conductor to pilot Mecha Godzilla. So the idea that people are inside of it, like the old school one, not real. It's just he's in VR chat. But this is also a shout out to Mecha Godzilla because there's so many of people. There's that one pilot girl who linked her mind with Mecha Godzilla, and then when she dies or when something happens, there's also the she controlled him like that. There's also that there's one story of Mecha Godzilla having the real bones of the original Godzilla, and sometimes the real Godzilla takes over with the Mecha Godzilla body. So they're still using that idea, but they're using King Ghidorah instead of Godzilla's bones. They're using King Ghidorah's bones, whatever. But so they're all there. That's the first fight. Godzilla goes away. And now this guy is like, oh yeah, we're going. They're taking Kong. They fly Kong to where the Hollow Earth hole is at. She tells the Eileen, the monarch person, tells the daughter to tell Kong to go find his family. His family's there, and Kong's like, bet, runs down the thing. It's sort of like Ice Age. That's what I remembered when they went down to the Earth and they found the dinosaurs down there in this little habitat. That's basically what Hollow Earth is. It's based off not real, but based off an idea they had back in the 1700s. I don't know. Whatever. They go in there and they have these the Apex dude. I'm gonna call him the Apex dude. Walter Simmons. He made this machine that's also a shout out to the old Godzilla movies. It's called what is it called? It's called like the stem, not stem. That's like something else. I can't even find it. But the aircraft he made to be able to go to the Hollow Earth is a shout out to the old Godzilla movies. There's alternate versions of it. This is the most modern version of it. Another Easter egg. Now they go down to the Hollow Earth and they see that Kong knows where he's going. The dude was right. Dr. Nathan was right that Kong is running somewhere. They're like, oh, I think he knows where he's going. But on his way there, you see these flying snakes that Kong finds, and Kong's like, bro, I already took an L. I'm not taking another L. Beats the shit out of those snakes, grabs one of them, throws the other one into it. One of the vessels gets destroyed by the snake, though. Who cares? Those guys are throwaways as well. Kong has a huge thing about ripping people's head off. And he rips one of the snake's heads off and he eats it. And I guess I had to look this up myself. So I guess this is a shout out to the old Kong movie back in the day when he fought snakes. There's also when they tranquilized him, he had these wristbands on that shot like stuff into him to knock him out. That's also a shout out to the old Kong movie back in the day. I don't remember that. I just had to look that up myself. I was actually looking up the Kong thing about his people being flooded. Like, I didn't believe that was true because it didn't say that in the movie. But I guess that's true. I have no clue. But anyways, the fact of it is that Kong knew his way. He killed these monsters. And I already knew that Kong was going to live there. I knew Kong was going to live there. That's where he goes at the end of the movie. Because it just shows him, because the fact of them piping up, they say it multiple times that we can't have Kong and Godzilla here. There can't be two apex predators. One will fall. They will fight to the death. Let them fight. I knew that one of them wasn't going to be on Earth anymore. Okay? Earth is rather Godzilla dies, Kong dies. I knew they both were going to die because of money, profits. But I knew one of them was gonna get their ass beat. But Kong is fine. He finds this place. It's like it's calling him. He finds it, and there's this floating rock with the hand coming out like this to you. Like I was like, is that a hand? I don't know if it's like a made like that so Kong can grab it, or if it's like a fossilized version of a, of one of I don't know what to call it. What is Kong's one of Kong's relatives' hands like this fossilized, and he grabs it and he finds the handprint. This is where this part gets crazy because this means that Kong's people are intelligent. So there's like this handprint, and he sees it and he touches it, and for some reason he's like, "I'm gonna push it," and he pushes it open. It's a door, and there is this mausoleum of a place, and it's like empty, and it has a chair and a throne, and it has like it's who made this? Kong's people? Dude, these guys are designers. These guys are like the Atlanteans because it's kind of dim. They could have put some LED lights or something in there, but it's like I can't explain it. Like it just has pillars and there's like bats up there called war bats. Those are the war bats we seen in the Funko Pops that were released a long time ago. But it's like he knows it's home, and then he looks over, he looks down, there's the axe, and it's in the skull of. See, I thought this was the skull of a Godzilla or Godzilla's creature, but it looks like of the monsters. What is he called? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm remembering everything on my own. Monsters from Kong Skull Island. That's something easy. Why can't I just find it? Skull crawlers. Oh my god, I knew it was easy. It was a skull crawler head, and in the opening credits, it shows you like I don't know where they got this from, but it shows you like ancient cave paintings and tablets prophesizing of the war Kong and Godzilla's family had. I thought it was gonna be like Godzilla because it says this is. This is the only part I have a problem with, and the Hollow Earth thing is where they said all the Titans come from. Okay, so every Titan we see on Earth came from there, and so how did they get from there to there without going through that portal and coming out the same way? So if they came out the same way, or they dug through the Earth, but the equilibrium of the like up is down and down is up. I don't know how they got out. Now, do notice that they are kaiju, they are monsters, they are these beings, right? See, thinking about it, I watched this movie twice, so I still didn't understand it. But this is the resting place of Kong's people. Whatever Kong's people got out went to Skull Island somehow. Skull Island is a part of this place of a Hollow Earth. Okay. And they are out there, and I don't know. They didn't explain how that's connected either, unless I just didn't see it. I watched it twice. Now, but they basically said that Skull Island is a part of this Hollow Earth. Got it. Now, what I don't get is how Godzilla's people and Kong's people both went into war and fought and mostly killed each other, but a few. We don't even see any other Godzillas for now. But we seen that Kong's people went there to Skull Island, and the Skull Crawlers are what they brought with it. And what I'm saying, so where's the Godzilla stuff? So he picks up the axe, right? And on Earth, Apex Russell Simmons, not Russell Simmons, but Mark Walter Simmons is powering up the Mechagodzilla to test it, and is showing that the power can't stay on. It shoots one energy blast and dies. And then on top of that, he's testing it on skull crawlers. Where are they getting these skull crawlers? Because from what they said on Kong Island, they only hid because Kong was there. Now, unless when they put Kong in this dome, the skull crawlers came up, but because Millie Bobby Brown and Bernie, they sneak into the facility, the Apex Technologies facility, and find out there's eggs of skull crawlers. I don't know where they're getting them from, probably Skull Island, but I thought since he killed like the main skull crawler, that all of them went back into hiding because none of them could fight Kong, especially now that he's bigger. So that was just confusing for me. But I digress on that. I'm gonna just say it's monster magic, okay? But yeah, they're sending it to test Mechagodzilla on. Mechagodzilla is killing all of them with his death beam, but after he shoots his death beam, powers off, right? So every time they turn that on, the signal, because the skull of Ghidorah is in Mechagodzilla's skull, that's what's making Godzilla crazy. And every spot he attacked is every place they tested. So every Apex, one of them, I guess they're testing it, and that's where you see Godzilla attacking in the beginning of the movie. And that's where I guess the first Apex technology placed his foot, and they was like, I don't know why Godzilla attacked us. Like, I don't get it, but they do. So that's why Godzilla's attacking everyone. That's why Godzilla is, attacking everyone. Now, I knew Godzilla wasn't going to kill Kong because he's seen Kong alive the first time. And he looked Kong in the eye and he did this smirk like, don't cross me again, and then left. But Godzilla's attacking Hong Kong. That's where they were going because, like I said earlier, Bernie knew they were sending stuff to Hong Kong. And it's so cool. They have the neon lights. Oh my god, the neon lights, and then his neon atomic blast stuff is going crazy. Now, I didn't know that Godzilla could shoot that many like atomic breaths, but he was shooting it off like it was like a rave, like pew, 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 pew. He was sending it everywhere. But when Kong picked up the axe back in his, I guess where they lived, where Kong's people lived, it started to activate because it was going off of Godzilla's dorsal atomic breath. The axe is a dorsal fin from Godzilla's granddaddy, or maybe Godzilla himself. Maybe that's the only one Godzilla, and he just grew back because he's a lizard. But Godzilla noticed, and he was like, "Oh hell no!" So this is the part, the monster magic I'm talking about again. He shoots his atomic breath down. And the helicopters are surrounding him like, oh my god, Godzilla's shooting his death down. Is he gonna blow up the planet? They didn't say that, but I'm guessing that's what they're thinking. But okay, pause at that moment. Kong is looking down and he's like, oh, I got an axe. And he sits down with his axe like he's Aquaman, and sits down, and then he looks over and he's like, there's a slot for this axe on the floor. So he puts the axe down while it's glowing blue. And around the base of the pillars, this thing is lighting up. What that I guess powers. I feel like I'm missing something. Like it's probably going over my head. If Manuel was here, he would be like, "Hey, stupid, you forgot this part." But the reason why Walter Simmons is funding this for them to go down there with his fine daughter Maya is that they need an energy source for Mechagodzilla. Now, the energy source is in Kong's family's resting place. Now, the light on the bottom is lighting up, and the symbol is Godzilla, right? You can see it's like a tribal tattoo. And Maya's like, oh, well, this belongs to us now. It belongs to Apex Technologies. And she gets a sample of it and somehow teleports it back to Walter Simmons for them to copy it and use it as an energy source. I don't get that part. How are they doing that? I understand you're a technology company and you somehow monster magic. That's 3 monster magics. No more monster magic after this. And then it's a shenanigan. But somehow they do it, and Kong's watching him do it. He's like, "No, you're not." And so while he's doing that, finally, from the top, Godzilla's atomic breath, defying all logic and piercing through all the layers of the earth to hollow earth to stop Kong from being there. Because he felt the activation of the axe. All right. So I'm guessing what he knows, or that was his atomic thing, whatever. And Kong and all the war bats are attacking and killing everybody. And Maya tries to get on the ship and leave with the thing, but Kong grabs it. He looks at it. He's like, nope. Kills her. And the little girl, Kong's friend, Eileen and Dr. Nathan are the only ones who survive, get on the ship, and head back. They fly up the hole that Godzilla drilled down to the hollow earth. And Kong, so does Kong fall down it? Because like I said, it's topsy-turvy. So Kong falls down it and then leads them back up to Hong Kong while Godzilla's like, come off that hole, bitch. I'll fuck your ass up. And Kong's like, nah, bitch. I got an axe. So round 2 fights, and Kong is fucking Godzilla up. I'm talking about he's swinging off of buildings. Godzilla's like, you stand still, I'm gonna shoot you this atomic breath. And he's like, nope. And he's using the axe. He stabs Godzilla with the axe on his leg, and Godzilla's like, full. And so he pulls it out and he throws it. He reaches down and throws it. He's trying to get it away from King Kong. But Kong is like swinging off buildings. And there's this one part where I'm like, bro, Godzilla, don't be this dumb. So they do this part where you see in the trailer where he shoots atomic breath and he goes like this with the axe. And he hits it and he hits Godzilla and it blows both of them away, right? Kong loses his axe again. And Godzilla's like looking around like, where are you, Kong? I will find you. And Kong is on top of this building with this fucking beam. And Godzilla's like, where are you? And he's like, all right, I'm going to throw this fucking beam. And Godzilla's going to fucking look over there. And I'm going to beat his ass. So he throws it at the building and it makes a noise. And Godzilla turns around like, there you are, bitch. And he's like, psych. And he jumps on his back and he's trying to rip his head off, bro. And at one point I thought he was going to do it. I'm like, oh, no way. But bro, the fight scene, man. Oh my God. It was so beautiful. It was literally 2 monsters going at it. Like Kong threw Godzilla into the building, punched him. Godzilla got up and slammed him, was binding his arm and hand. He was scratching him on his chest. It was like acrobatics. This is what part where I'm saying where Godzilla was nimble. He was fast. He was quick with the response. They even did a shout out to the old Godzilla versus Kong, where Kong was shoving a branch down Godzilla's mouth. He shoved the axe down Godzilla's mouth to stop his atomic breath. That was the Easter egg. I was so glad to see it. But I can't describe this fight any more than lights and neon lights and Godzilla shooting like 100 of his atomic breath. Kong was dodging it. There was one where Kong went, like it was coming like this to him. And Kong went, nope, and dodged it like that. Oh my God. But eventually, Kong got hit with the atomic breath, cut his back, and Kong was out of it. Kong lost the 3rd fight. So when I say 3rd fight, the 2nd fight ended when Kong successfully whooped Godzilla's ass with the axe. And Godzilla got up. Round 3 started, and that was like Godzilla did like and like cut up his chest, and Kong couldn't stop it because obviously Godzilla is bigger than Kong. Now they might be the same height maybe, but Godzilla is way bigger in weight, size, strength. Kong is nimble, he's fast, he has muscle, he is smarter, but eventually Godzilla's power, sheer strength got the best of him, and he threw him on the ground. He stepped on his chest, and he screams at him, and Kong screams at him. And this is like the Batman v Superman joke they threw in. Like everyone's like, oh, they're gonna say, oh, you know Mothra, but they didn't. But Godzilla let Kong. He's like, I told you, if you cross me again, I was gonna fuck you up. Now leave. And that was it. He stepped on his chest, bro. Screamed at him. Dude, Kong was dying. The little girl said, I feel his heart leaving. They used he was dying, and Godzilla was like, all right, let me go find out who is trying to replace me. And he's like, walks out, and going to Millie Bobby Brown's character and Bernie, they get caught in seeing Mechagodzilla, and they are brought to Walter Simmons, and they're like, yes. And the Millie Bobby Brown's like, you're not gonna get away with this. He was like, get away with what? Making a machine that can help us fight Godzilla and put humans back as a top apex predator? Then yes, I'll take that. He was like, do the thing. And so the sample, somehow Maya sent back her dad. They replicated it within seconds. And Ren's like, all right, let me go to my VR chat, puts it on, and he's doing this, and they use the power energy. But he told him that he was like, if we use this, we don't know, we didn't get to test it. And he's like, test smashed. It'll power the thing. But it did power it, but a little too much to where that power short-circuited the neural link that connected the dude, Ren, to the robot. It killed him. And it gave him enough power for the skull and King Ghidorah's skull to take over and completely control Mechagodzilla. And you see it stops like this, and he looks at the guy. Walter Simmons like, I created this. This is my creation. I'm putting us back on the map. We are going to take over the Titans, and we're going to kill them all, and we are going to be the dominant species of the... What's everyone looking at? Oh, shit. And then he's like, get out of here. And he like kills him. King Mechagodzilla kills him. And everyone runs away. And he comes out of the mountain like, yeah, bitch, I'm here. Round 2. And he's killing everybody, bro. And Godzilla sees him, and Godzilla's like, he screams at him. And Mechagodzilla's like, you ain't screaming no more. And I was like, there's no... I was like, Godzilla just fought Kong. Who's going to stop him? Mechagodzilla? He did. Godzilla tried to tackle him like he tackled Kong. But I'm guessing since he's all metal, he didn't budge. Now, I thought the third Kong versus Godzilla fight was brutal. This made me feel bad. Mechagodzilla grabbed Godzilla, threw his ass, slammed him into the ground. Godzilla's like, oh yeah, I got atomic breath. And Mechagodzilla's like, bitch, try me. And they did like a Kamehameha beam struggle. And he was like, bitch, you weak. And you like powered him up and fucking shot through Godzilla's atomic breath, shot him in the chest. And Godzilla's like, you made a god bleed. Oh shit. And then this whole time they're like, we got to get Kong back in there. And then so they recharged the aircraft that Walter Sims used to created to go to the Hollow Earth. They basically not self-destructed, but hardwired it for it to like discharge, and they brought Kong back to life because it recharged his heart. And so the little girl's telling him like, Godzilla is not our enemy. That thing is. So Godzilla is about to die. Like, this dude is like dead to rights. Like, Mechagodzilla was throwing him, slamming into the wall, shooting missiles at him, and you could actually tell that these hurted versus all the other stuff that was shot at Godzilla throughout the movie. This, and on top of his leg being cut, and on top of just fighting Kong, Godzilla was wiped out. And he was like on his back, like, bro, I at least Needed to do something against you, but I couldn't. It's just the end. And he's charging the beam blast. And out of the back. King Kong comes and jumps on his back, bro. Pulls his head back because this dude loves fucking decapitating people. Pulls his head back. Godzilla and him look at each other like, we teaming up. And so they teamed up and they're like dragging his ass. Oh my god. That city, Hong Kong is gone. There's no way that's not flattened to the fucking core. Because every little building, even the tiniest building is destroyed in this. And bro, it's like I'm not doing it justice explaining it. Okay. This fight was amazing. As a monster lover, it's such a good fight. All the fights are good. Not one single fight in this was boring. They went all out in the animation, the CGI, every little thing they went out on. They went out on it. It was amazing. And eventually, Mecha Godzilla like came back and was like attacking them, and he knew that the axe. He tried to use the axe, but the axe isn't charged, right? Because it's not charged with the atomic breath. It's like he's trying to hit him, and it's not doing anything. And they do this thing where he has the axe, and Godzilla is like getting up, and he looks at the axe. He looks at Kong. Kong looks at Godzilla. Godzilla looks back at Kong. He's like, do it for me. And he shoots the atomic breath at the axe, powers the axe up, and Kong's like, oh, bitch! Cuts his arm off. Mechagodzilla's like, oh! And he's like, cha, cha, cha. And like, bro, I'm getting excited talking about it. He cuts off the limb like decapitation, and he cuts off Mechagodzilla's head. Like, it was kind of anticlimactic that this axe would do this to him, but it did. It completely cut every limb off of Mechagodzilla, and he pulled the head out, and Kong looking at it. He's like, I am King Kong. And then he drops it, and they both pass out. And that's the end of Mechagodzilla. Now, I don't think Mechagodzilla is ever coming back. I don't think Mecha King Ghidorah is coming back. But yeah. And eventually this shows everyone meeting up. Millie Bobby Brown's like, Dad, I'm here. And then yeah, Bernie deserves to work at Monarch now. And he needs to be like a main character in the next one, wherever this goes. Wherever this goes, he needs to be like the main character. Millie Bobby Brown needs to be his assistant, and that's it. That's the only two characters you need to bring back. And the other Monarch girl, Eileen, or I think I'm saying her name right, and her daughter with Kong. Now, there's a scene where after they're all celebrating, you hear Godzilla roar, and then you hear Kong get up and grabs his ass like, bitch, you want to go again? And they look at each other, and Godzilla like, we good. And he turns around and leaves, and Kong's like, I bet, because I don't want to get my ass beat again. He drops the axe, and they go their separate ways, just like the ending of the original Godzilla versus King Kong. We don't really know who won. They just both left. Now, you could say Godzilla won the third fight, and originally in fights like UFC or boxing, the third fight is the last fight. And Godzilla won 2 out of the 3. But then got his ass whooped by Mechagodzilla, and so did Kong, and they had to team up to kill Mechagodzilla. Now I say team up. Kong is the one who beat Mechagodzilla, but Kong could have not have done it without Godzilla. I know already people are like, oh yeah, Kong lost to Godzilla, but he decapitated Mechagodzilla. So that means that if Mechagodzilla beat Godzilla and Kong beat Mechagodzilla, so that means no, that monkey would have died. The ape would have got destroyed just like Godzilla did if they fought him one-on-one like that. Because if Kong didn't jump on the back of Mechagodzilla, Godzilla probably would have died right there, because we've seen that his beam was stronger and could have cut right through him like he did the Skullcrawler. And if that would have happened and Kong tried to fight him one-on-one, there would have been no atomic breath. There would have been nothing to cut him through and decapitate him, because the axe isn't as good until it's all powered up. But I like this. I know a lot of people are probably like, bro, no one really died. No one really fell like it said. But this is showing you for a possible team up later down the line. Okay. So the whole idea of the ancient war, and they've been battling for centuries, and they've been have a history of war. What they basically did is Godzilla's like, all right, I know my ancestors and your ancestors fought. We fought because of them. They flipped the script. They understand like I'm an apex predator, you're an apex predator, whatever. No beef. We're cool. I still hate you, but we're cool. And eventually Kong became king of the Hollow Earth, which I thought he was going to be. And now Godzilla is king of all the monsters on Earth as defender of the Earth. They can't be there together because eventually they'll clash. So that's that. Now I would love to see this is there's no after credit scene. So this is if this movie does this movie is very important because if it does good, then that means Toho's like, hey, do more. If it does bad, who knows no more Godzilla movies. This could be the last one. And there's so much more to explore in the Godzillaverse and Kong and the other monsters as well. Now, I would love to see a Kong movie. I don't want it to be called Kong Hollow Earth or anything. But just the idea that that's where the Titans came from and how vast and big that Hollow Earth is, I would love for it to be explored and see Kong fight like other, like, you know, defending, because he's the defender of that. They can't call him King Kong because I guess the rights, the word King Kong is trademarked. They can call him Kong and they can say Kong is king, but they can't say King Kong, which sucks. But I would love to see stuff like that with Kong exploring the Hollow Earth, and we get more idea of whatever is down there. Because we've seen a couple. We only seen we've seen the two snake flying things. We've seen the war bats. We've seen some crabs, and I think that's it. So I would love to see what other monsters are down there. What's next for Godzilla? I don't know. Because I got a list of the monsters right here. Some of these monsters are dookie, okay? I would love to see Anguirus. Anguirus was Godzilla's first enemy. It's just like a big giant, it's another dinosaur. It's an Ankylosaurus. I would like to see Biolante. It's like a plant. It's a mixture of Godzilla's DNA, a plant, and human DNA. I don't know. But dude's crazy. He almost killed Godzilla. Obviously, I would like to see Gigan and Destroya. We've already did King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla. Destroya needs to be the last movie. That's the one where they kill Godzilla, and it'll be cool. Because, like, all right. So, and I'd like to see Space Godzilla as well. They could honestly mix Space Godzilla with Gigan and just play around with that. But I don't know how you're going to do Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla is like, oh, his DNA somehow got into space and mutated with whatever's out there in the world, and he came back and he's like a genius alien thing. Yeah, I don't know. But the future for Godzilla can be amazing if they make this MonsterVerse work. They can do a Mothra movie. There's a Mothra movie. They can do a Rodan movie. There's already a Rodan movie, like based on that one. Now, what's his name? Gamera. That's the next. That's who needs to be set up in Kong's movie in the Hollow Earth is Gamera. No, Gamera's Atlantean. If you guys don't know who Gamera is was created to quote unquote be the Godzilla killer in like the monster like kaiju world. He's like a turtle who's made in Atlantis or something, and he's supposed to be the defender of Earth. but Godzilla's the defender of Earth, so I don't know how they're gonna make that work if Legendary even has the rights. Let's see. I have the movie right here somewhere. Oops. This guy right here, you can't see it. Yeah, Gamera. He's a turtle. Is it Legendary Pictures? No, it's not. It's Kadawa Pictures. But they need to make this dude already. He has 3 movies. Make movies of him so he can fight Godzilla. And other than that, like, I don't know what else they can do other than the characters. Because some of Godzilla's characters, they need to do an Godzilla War of the Monsters. That'll be cool. I don't know what will trigger that other than all the monsters fighting each other again. But after this movie, I have high hopes. I think this movie did great. I loved it. Some of the characters, like I said, really got put in the back seat. The only character that I could relate to is Bernie. He was the most human and wanted to solve this problem. And without him, I'm pretty sure everyone would have lost. Because the way they kind of like snuck in and tried to stop Mechagodzilla and by hacking into him, they would never got there if he never told anybody. But yeah, I really love this movie. Now, I'm not being biased. I am a huge monster fan, like I told you guys before. So this movie did great for me. Now, I understand a lot of you might just like, oh, but the humans didn't do anything. It's just a bunch of monsters fighting. Bro, if you watch Jurassic Park and don't expect dinosaurs to run amok and kill people, then I don't know why you're watching Godzilla and not expecting a bunch of monster fights. That's just me, though. But there are, like I said, there are some problems like the whole Hollow Earth and that Kong's place and how do they know the energy source is going to work and how I understand movie monster magic, but I would like that to be explored more. And it sucks because this was produced during COVID. This was pushed back a lot. It wasn't fair, but it happens, you know. Hopefully it does great so we can have more of this. It'll probably be on HBO Max. I love they're making a Godzilla and a Kong anime too on top of that. But I really think that this does great. This did great. And I don't know what else to talk about. There was no after credit scene because the director said that they didn't want to set anything up. They didn't want to set anything up because, you know, they didn't know the outcome of what's going on. He didn't want to be so like whenever they did pick up, they wanted to just make something and not be tied down to some after credit scene, you know. I will say that it did end kind of. So the way it ended is like I told you guys, is like Godzilla and King Kong faced off and they both went their separate ways and left. I would have loved it if they just left it at that. But then they showed you that Kong went to the Hollow Earth and that they're watching him there, right? And then it just cuts off. Like we all knew he was going to go there. And they hinted that he was going to be there. But maybe like it could have showed Kong like running around and like fighting monsters and defending it. And maybe like both of them like do a roar like and it shows both of them like on Earth and Hollow. I don't know, you know. But I enjoyed this movie. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Now, this is my first podcast by myself, so don't rip me apart. I know I'm trying to get things down packed. My background, I'm doing everything in front of me is under construction. You can't see it because that's why there's messes all over there. Like there's a bunch of stuff right there. I wanted to do this today on Godzilla Day. So I'm making it happen. Eventually I'll have a better setup, but whatever. It's my first podcast. It's whatever. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are watching this on YouTube by now, I had a couple of people watching me earlier. But I like talking about this stuff. I would love to talk about this more with probably Manuel, like in a follow-up episode, talking about the future of this. Manuel's the smartest guy I know. So there's that. Maybe we get Josh here. But if Josh is here, then we'll just do it on Nerds Make Sense. We can talk about this on Nerds Make Sense. I don't care. By then, I'll have a lot of stuff written down and have more theories. But yeah, I don't know what's for the future. I want to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's see because of COVID and Nerds Make Sense being on hiatus because we can't meet with each other, and me and Manuel have stuff going on in our lives. Josh has stuff going on in his life. We really don't have. Not all of us have time to watch like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I really would like to talk about that. I wanted to talk about, you know what? I'm going to message James after this. I'm like, James, got a new podcast. Would you like to talk to me about Justice League? Because I wasn't a fan of the old one and the new one. I was trolling around and said some things, but I would like to talk to him because he knows everything about comics, bro. Like, he can enlighten me. Yeah. Tell me about comics. That'll be so cool. I'm gonna ask him after this. Yeah, but I don't know what's next for the podcast. It could be that. It could be Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It could be me talking about anime and cartoons and stuff. Who knows? I'm not gonna put a schedule for this. These will just pop up. I will tweet it out on my Facebook. I'll tweet it out on my Twitter and whatnot. I see a lot of people retweeted all my stuff, so I appreciate it. But am I missing anything? Mm-hmm. I just hope that you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thank you to all my friends who did support me. I see that you guys retweeted it. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for my friends Andrew and Jonathan and Pablo and Manuel for liking my idea for my name, the Kaiju Chasers. I appreciate you guys so much. Like, I don't even care. Like, if this gets like 5 views, it makes me happy. I know I'm not big time, so I'm not expecting like everyone to watch this, but eventually, I just appreciate the little things for now. And I can't express how much stuff is going on in my life mentally. And this is like one way for me to feel good. And I hope you guys appreciate everything I try to do for you guys. Like, I see myself doing for you guys in the future with like talking about stuff you guys like. If you guys want me to talk about something, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I love horror. Oh, I should get Tierra on here. I gotta get Vincent Glosso Godly on here. I gotta get my boy Ashraf. My boy Ashraf's been one. Now I'm just rambling. Ashraf's gonna be on this show. My boy Ashraf is the most funniest guy I know. We get Andrew on here. My friend Andrew, he's like a gym rat. Talk about like protein and like workouts regimens. I'm not doing them, but he can talk about them. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me. This is Kaiju Chasers. This is Ted, Poke Protagonist, whatever you want to call me. Until the next chase comes, I'll catch you guys later. That sounded stupid, but hey, I'm working on it. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.